25 pounds with Luke Eustice, the sophomore from Iowa, ranked number 6. He's 17-6 as a record, going up against A.J. Grant, the junior, number 8 ranked, 26-7. So we've got two ranked wrestlers going after each other.
Eustice is ranked higher, but Grant owns a win over him in the national duels and actually dominated Eustice for the first 5 minutes of the match, first 6 minutes of the match, and Eustice came on, almost won the match, but he was completely dominated for that first 4 or 5 minutes, especially on the bottom position. So Eustice is the kind of guy that we'll see whether he's learned from that match.
Well, Grant, a junior out of Clarkston, Michigan, and Eustice, a sophomore out of Blue Earth, Minnesota.
This is one of those keys, you know. I mean, if you're going to say key matches, this is going to be one of the keys, just because it was so close last time. And if I was going to get the job done, they're going to have to win a match like this.
A match that they lost last time, as Dan was pointing out. A.J. Grant beating Luke Eustice at the national duels, where Michigan beat Iowa 23-12. Iowa gets off to a 3-0 start tonight after the heavyweight match, the first match of the evening.
Well, you talk about building momentum this time of year, and Eustice, I think, has been doing that. He hasn't won every match, but again, that border brawl match against Minnesota, he took Leroy Vega into overtime, or fairly close to that.
Took him into overtime.
Took him into overtime and lost on a takedown there. So Vega's second rank, so I mean, he's capable of putting 7 minutes together.
I think that's a good call there, you know, from a standpoint of, you know, putting Vega. You take Vega. Vega's pretty tough dude.
Salty. He's been around a long time. And A.J. Grant's an All-American. He had a great tournament last year. I think he finished 4th in the country.
You're listening to Jim Gibbons and Dan Gable. We're in the second match of the evening at 125 here at Carver Hawkeye Arena, Iowa Public Television's college wrestling. It's 3-0 in favor of Iowa as a team, and 0-0 halfway through the first period.
And you can see why Eustice has had trouble with Grant. Look at Grant tie up those wrists. That's something that he's not used to.
No, you definitely have to be able to keep control of your arms and stuff. Now, Grant last time took him down and rode him almost the whole first period, so it's already a difference
up on the chin, step
this time. Grant's got a lot of length. Eustice did come on quite a bit in the third period with shots, and something he hasn't done a whole lot in this first period yet. Maybe 1/2 attempt, 3/4 of attempt.
And Eustice is really battling in there, I think, for head position. That's what I like about him. When he is in a tie, he's not going to forfeit the head position. He's going to get the head position he wants.
He's got to have some confidence after that Vega match, you know, and a couple good wins, but you know, along the way here. So it's one of these things that he really hasn't opened up yet.
I was going to say, it looks like the first one to pull the trigger might be successful, but both of them are having a hard time pulling the trigger.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see many off the mat calls. I mean, both teams like to keep it right here in the center of the mat.
Offense.
The matches move by a little quicker that way, but there's a nice attack by Eustice. Isn't that a nice high
there's
cross?
2 points.
Boy, that's close.
Switches across.
Oh, he let him hook there. Oh, out of bounds.
That's close.
It was close, and it was no 2. 2 was not called by Bill Rhodes, and so it's 0-0, 5 seconds left in the first period.
Well, that was a close call there. Eustice did a nice job of getting the high crotch. It looked like he cut across and got both legs.
Yeah, but he hesitated then. He didn't put the weight over it, and so the guy was able to reach in, pull the crotch up.
Yep.
There's Joe McFarland right there, and look at where he stands on career wins. And he's got one of his wrestlers pushing him a little bit, probably going to overtake him if everything works out for him.
Well, he doesn't care that. That's small to him. You know, he wants to see that guy overtake him.
That's right.
He gets responsibility for that.
Joe McFarland, when in his career in college, was always going against Barry Davis and Kevin Darkus, so he went against some pretty tough competition there in his weight class in college.
Here's the key for Eustice. He got rid of a lot. So
there you go. So already, Dan, you're saying it's a completely different match than it was at the national duels.
Right, completely so far, even though it's close. He was getting beat pretty good going into the third period.
That makes the score 1-0 in favor of Eustice from Iowa over Grant from Michigan. That escape, only 16 seconds into the second period. That's where we're at right now. 1:20 left in the second period. 1-0 in favor of Eustice at 125 pounds.
He's one.
Up on the chin.
Grant's trying to make Eustice work in this position, make him work his weaker muscles, lower back, upper neck.
Jim Zalesky cheering on his wrestler right there.
You know, you do that during the course of the match. That's going to pay off in the third period. That's what his strategy is. Make the other guy carry your weight in his neck and lower back.
Luke's got a younger brother, Ty, that's 149, redshirting this year, and his folks are here, I'm sure, and his dad's a wrestling coach up in Blue Earth, Minnesota. Had a lot of wrestling background in his family.
Right,
His dad was a great wrestler as well.
He was a good wrestler at Mankato, I believe, and also he was Luke's coach in high school. So he's coached his sons, and now they're down here, and I'm sure they're making a lot of trips down from Minnesota to Iowa City here.
There's just not enough. For some reason, he can shoot pretty well on that edge, but he needs to do that in the center so he doesn't go out of bounds.
And that's what Coach Brands is saying. Do it out in the center.
Yeah, that's got to have that confidence to be able to attack those legs or any place on the mat.
Well, that opening isn't really created till after A.J. Grant makes the shot. A.J. Grant drops in a shot. When he comes back out, that's when he's getting to it. There's a nice shot by Grant, but Eustice doing a good job of keeping his hips away.
And he kept the hand control, so he couldn't come up and lock with the two hands. He kept that wrist.
Boy, that's a great lesson for younger wrestlers watching this. I mean, if you look at tying up the hands, going right to that wrist, makes it difficult for the guy to counter.
It's 1-0 going into the third period. And now Grant has the down position. We'll have the opportunity to tie it up.
Not much movement by Grant underneath there, a little surprising. It's one of those situations with the early escape. Nice job by Grant getting up. That's going to be settled on the feet, which is different than last time, Dan.
Well, he rode him a long time, but when it came down to the third period, Eustice was really attacking and had several. He had got a takedown and he had missed another one, and it was real close. But somebody's going to have to figure out that real good setup and that bang in there and that penetration, that finish, all in one move. And otherwise, it's going to be an overtime type match.
Oh, he's got the leg up. Grant gets his hips out from underneath him, and it keeps the score at 1-1. 2 escapes in this match. That's all there is. 1-1 with 1:15 left in the match, or the regulation time.
On the edge again. I don't know if let him in. What do you want to let him in for? You know, run him out of bounds, and tackle him.
You gotta let him back in, Gray.
Just hanging on that right wrist to that.
They're both thinking about one. There's a good shot.
Leg.
There's a real good shot.
Coming out the back door.
Yeah,
he's got the leg hook.
He's in trouble there, but
Eustice has to keep a hold of Grant's right ankle.
Not a lot of time here either. Oh boy, oh my gosh, look at this. This is crazy.
He's got to keep from getting stuck here. Yeah, that's really important.
That's what I was thinking.
Holy cow.
No points. No points.
No, but it's still a fire here. It's still a fire. Wow. This is crazy. I have never seen a flurry like this. I just don't think I just get too nervous on these kind of flurries. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Looks like Eustice is in trouble here.
Usually the guy who keeps his head up in any scramble situation is going to win.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Good wrestling.
I don't know why it's potentially dangerous right there, which is a good call. But
potentially dangerous about 30 seconds ago.
For Eustice not to get taken down there,
right here.
Unbelievable scrambling. Now, I wouldn't wait. As a Brands move, he'd just tap in the head and go win the match.
And that's who was telling him to do it right there.
Yeah,
Brands is saying, win it right there.
I'll tell you, whoever's going to be doing the shooting is probably going to be doing the win unless you make a bad shot. I always go with the offensive guy here, and Grant made the offensive move.
Where we are in overtime.
It was Eustice fighting to keep him getting taken down. See what happens here. This is a key match. There's
nice
a shot.
shot.
Good shot. But he lets him lock up in the crotch. He lets him lock up there.
And he locked the leg on the way through.
Boy, I'll tell you, Eustice is in a little bit better shape this time, but it's still a flurry, and it's going to be, the hip position's going to win it here. Eustice better not turn his back to him. There it is. Hit him. He ought to try to pin him there, and Ohio State.
Well, I think he's pretty excited to win that match.
Yeah, but he could have pinned him, I think.
And just like you said, Dan, the guy who took the shot ended up pulling the trigger and winning.
Eustice wins for Iowa, makes the score 6-0, big overtime win.
Well, that's big for Iowa. We mentioned it before. He went really tough against Leroy Vega, the #2 ranked wrestler in the country, and now he follows up with a big win here against A.J. Grant. Starting to get some momentum. And here you see the situation right here when he grabs Grant's right or left heel, elevates that, keeps his own head up, and then he wings his arm around here, cuts across and gets the 2. Beautiful.
Okay, now we're ready.